Okay. So now what we have done is we have taken each story and we have essentially divided them into tasks. Alright. The first step is selection of stories for a particular backlog. Okay, so before even you do the tasking part of it, your job is to select what is your velocity. The velocity, as I told you, is going to be dependent on last 2 sprints. What is the average velocity you have taken, or last 4 sprints if you have done, and take the 4 sprints average, and what you will do is you will select them for selection into this particular sprint. Okay, now let's assume that your velocity is 21 plus 8 plus 5 plus 13. So you have selected this much. This is going to be your sprint backlog. Are you getting? This will go into the next sprint. You have done for each story, you have written tasks, and this is a good numbering scheme that you have done. Okay, so 1.1, so 1.1 is 1.1.1, 1.1.2. This is very good scheme that you have done. This gives you clarity. Now during the sprint planning meeting, when you have come, you already have lot of clarity on these items. You have already discussed them for last maybe 2 months. You have been discussing before you came to this particular level, where you are now at a point where you are going to run a 8-hour meeting for one month sprint, for example. In the 8 hours, you already know a lot of things. So you have done tasking. So maybe first couple of hours you will do tasking, 2 or 3 hours you will do tasking. Next thing is you will try and estimate each of the stories, how much hours it will take. This is the first time I am using the word hours. Okay, until now I was only using story points. Now it doesn't mean that 21 story points equal to so many hours. It is not a direct multiplication. So you will actually take each story or each task and you will basically discuss with your team members if required. But who is going to pick up that task? He or she will estimate. So for example, if you are going to pick up the task, then you will come forward. Please come forward. You will say form with 2 text boxes, and it is not necessary that somebody else has written the task does not mean that you will not pick up this task. Okay. So what you will do, you will now pick up this task and you will say, well, form with 2 text boxes and submit button. I am going to execute this task. I will need 5 hours to do this. So I will say 5 hours and I will put my name on it. Okay, and I will take this story or I will take this task for execution. That Neha is going to execute this particular task. Okay, you pick up the task and you come here and you put your name and you put number of hours that you will take for query database. So it is not necessary that you will take the easiest task. You will pick up the task what suits you and suits the team, and you will take, say for example, he is writing 10 hours and he is writing his name, that for query database it is going to take 10 hours.